Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. So, we are on lecture 17, part 1 of the Programming Fundamentals course. Today, we are going to do some practical work. We are going to search an integer number in an array. So, there will be only one objective, and that is how to search an integer number in an array. So far, we have discussed what are arrays, how we can use them, what are the different advantages of array. But today we really want to see the practical application of array and how you can use it in order to search an integer element in an array. So with that, I'm going to start the code blocks program. So you can go to this program. So let me start it, and let us wait for a moment. Let us wait for the code blocks to get uploaded. So you can now see that the code block is now started. I'm going to go to file, new, and then select this project option. Make sure that you have selected the console application, and also make sure that you have selected the C++ option. And then I'm going to click next, and I'm going to give it a meaningful name. So I'm going to say search an integer in array. So with that, we can leave the rest as they are. Click next, leave these options as they are, and click finish. Expand this option, double click on main.cpp. Remember that cpp stands for C++ program, and here I can delete this line. This is an auto generated code, and here we can write our own code. So the first thing is that we should have an integer array. So we can say it's a number array, and let me give it a size of 10. You can declare array of any size, and then we can uh, write down the numbers 23, 45, 67, 88. So these are just random numbers, 89, 21, and 34, and then 90. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we are left with only one number. So let me enter 44. So with that, we have declared a one-dimensional array and assign it some random numbers. So now I'm going to declare two more integer variables. The first one is search element, whereas the second one is the location. Initially the location will be -1, because initially we do not know at which location that particular integer element or integer number is present. So then we can ask the user to enter. So we can ask the user to enter the array element you want to search. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go to the next line, and let us use scene statement to get the search element from the user. Okay, now I'm going to use a for loop. Remember that the variable inside the for loop, declare inside the for loop, are local to that for loop. So if I say integer I, assignment operator is 0, so I is now local to this for loop. It means that I can only be accessible inside the for loop. So I is less than equal to 9. Why? Because we have 10 numbers starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we are going to go through all of these numbers. So this condition will be okay, or you can also say I is less than 10, and then remember the positions of array are denoted or pointed to as by an index. So with that, I'm going to put the body of the for loop, and then we are at the main point of this program, where we can say that if, using an if condition, we can say that if the number array number, so you can see this auto generated a hint or a help where it say that you are looking for a number array. Yes, we are looking for number array. So number array of I, so I is initially 0, is equal to the search element. So if the element that you want to search is at the position 0, so then what we are going to do, we are going to save that location. So we are going to say now the location is assigned to I, and then we are going to break from the for loop. So we get the location, and now we are going to print that element at that particular location, because that was an integer number that we are searching for. Okay, so let me get out of this for loop, and here once again I'm using the if condition, and we are going to say if location is equal to it, if it is still equal to -1, it means that the element, the integer number that we were searching is not present in this array. So we can uh, uh, give a message to the user that we did not found the desired array element, and we can put an handle, and here um, I think that that message is enough. And then if the location is not equal to 1, that it means that we have found the integer number. So we can say, give it a message to the user that the desired element is at location. So what is that location? So we know that location, it is location, it is stored in that location variable. So display that location variable. But because we people count from 1, whereas the array starts from 0, but we have to make sure that the user see a proper location. So that is why I'm going to add 1 to the location, so that if the integer number is at location 0, but we cannot tell the user that it is at location 0. We have to tell the user that it is at location 1. So that is why 0 plus 1 will be 1. And let me put these angle brackets, and let me say handle. Okay, that will do the job. And we also have to print the desired number. So the desired element, so this will print the location, whereas this instruction will, the desired element is uh, number array number array of I, or of location. And then we can put again an handle, and I think that's it for this program. That should do the job. um, so let me run it, and then I'll explain it in more detail. So let us compile it first. So there is no error. Remember that I have just uh, collapsed that window, but you can always go to search, and you can see for the log. and you can now see that we have zero error. And then now we can run this program. You can at the same time compile and run this program by clicking this build and run option. Okay, so let me click run. So enter the array element you want to search. So let me enter 34. So the desired element is at location 8. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And for the user, we have to tell that it is at location number 8 because vpeople starts from 1, whereas the array starts from 0. And the desired element is 34. Yes, it is 34. So this is how a particular integer number is searched in an array. So if you have an array of millions or billions of number, still you have to write this simple program. So that is what the loop and the condition statement makes your program so much powerfully. They add so much flexibility, ease and power to your program. So let me once again compile and run. This time I am searching for 55 and 55 is not present in that array. So we can tell the user that we did not found the desired array element. So let us see whether 23 is present or not. So once again I'm going to press this run button, enter 23, and the desired element is at location 1, and you can see that in fact it is at location number 1, but for the computer it knows that the first location is location number 0 because array starts at location number 0. But for the common people or for the common user, you have to tell that it is the location 1 and the desired element is 23. So far so good. So let me once again repeat what we have done. We declared an integer um, number array. Remember to give a meaningful name to a variable to an array name, because later on if your program expand or you add many functions or a lot of code to your program, then it will be very much easy for you to remember array names or variable names. So your memory load will be reduced. So with that, the size of array is 10, but you can declare array of any size as long as they fits in the range of integer data type, and then you can randomly put put all these number in an array, and then we declare two more integer variable. The first one is search element and location is initially -1 because initially we do not know the location of that array or the element that we are searching in an array. So we prompt the user to enter the array element you want to search. The user entered the array element. We stored that element in the search element variable, and then we use for and if statement in order to search that particular integer number in an array. So remember, for loop has three parts: the initialization, the testing or the conditional part, and the increment. First we perform initialization and then testing. The test is true, so we then move into the body of the for loop, and then if the number array of 0 is equal to search element, then we stop, and then we enter into the body of if statement, and then we store that location I into a location variable, and then we break. But if this number array of I is not equal to search element, then we move back to for loop, and then we are going to test this condition and we move on and on. So if the array element is present, if the integer element is present in array, this condition will be true. We are going to save that particular location in location variable, and then we are going to break out of the for loop. And then if location is -1, this means we did not found the desired array element, else we display the message the desired element is at location. For the user we add 1, we displayed the position of the array element, and then we displayed the actual array element. So let me once again compile and run. Let me search for 45. 45 is at location number 2. So that's correct. So with that, I'm going to stop here. I'll see you in the next part of the lecture. Allah